Guys, so the other day I read an article that Trump and Pete Hegseth, they were going to call, a massive meeting of U.S. military leadership, and nobody knew why. And I read an article, I forget if it was BBC, Fox News, something like that, and it was speculating on why are they having this meeting. Then last night, right, I've been busy the last 2 days, but last night I got home and I watched at least, not the whole speech, but I watched the first part of what Pete Hegseth was saying, and I thought they already rooted out wokeness from the military, but apparently not. And he said everything that needs to be said in this country, and now I really like Pete Hegseth. He said, military people, you absolutely cannot be fat. There's no body positivity in the military. You have to be in great shape. And if you're a military leader, like a general or something, all right, if you're a little bit old, you're old. But still, you can't be fat. You know how bad that looks? You know how bad it looks like when you're sending a fighting force or somebody that's in charge of a fighting force and you're fat? So, he basically wants to make sure that the military has strong leadership and there's a focus on male enrollment, because what on earth do female military personnel do? I understand that women could help out with things, but as far as fighting, operating machinery, operating a rifle, men are better at all of that stuff than women. Men are stronger than women. Men have a better intuition than women. And men are literally built to be outside, working, fighting, doing all that stuff. Women are built to be at home. You know what women's specialty is? Birthing children and raising children. That's women's specialty. That's what we should have women doing in this country. So then, I was just outside recently and I see a police car pass by. No problem. I just looked in there to see if I saw, who's driving. I don't know. I find that police are very similar to people who work in construction. They're blue-collar people. Even though the sergeant, lieutenant, to me, it's like police are like construction. It's like a real job that's mainly for men, that is an essential job that keeps society going. I look at police officers like very similar to people who are in construction. So I look in the car, and who's in there? 2 female officers, and both of them, they're like these little Latinas. Neither one of them could have been taller than about 5'4". And I just thought about it, like, if I started on one corner in New York City and I started running, and you tell both of them to try to catch me and put me in handcuffs, there's no way on earth that those 2 girls are gonna ever catch me, ever. So if that's the case, I just don't understand. How can a woman be a police officer? How can a woman be in the armed forces? Like, what are we talking about here? What an insane world. What an insane ideology and an insane country. I'm so happy that we're living in Trump America and we have normal people bringing back normalcy and normal stuff to our country. Because I'll tell you what, a women police officer or a woman in the army is that's a gimmick. They're just there taking money. And why are they taking money? Who knows? Maybe so that they have more arguing power at home with their man who would like to support them in full. But, you have feminist ideology telling them that not only they could be a police officer, they should be a police officer, they should work like a man, they should do a man's job, and they should not answer to men. And I'm tired of that ideology. I'm tired of living in a backward culture. So guys, that's just my thoughts on all the crazy woke stuff that's happened since the Biden administration and over the last couple years, and we're finally bringing that to an end. And it seems to me it's like it's happening little by little, but to everybody who's opposed to this, it's happening quickly. But I urge women to look around the world and look at how other women live in other places around the world, and please don't just give me an example of the next woke liberal country. Look at how women live where there's none of this. There's no feminism. Look at how life works for women. That's real life. Here in America, the way that things work for women is fake. So, and everybody else too. But anyway, a strong country needs strong leadership, and it needs a strong army, or else people are going to just, if there's ever a conflict, we're just going to get stomped out as a nation. So, also, women in the dating market are looking for strong men. Where are all the strong men at? Well, guess what? They've given women the same potential as men to get good jobs, and good jobs happen to be doing a bunch of pussy stuff like sitting in an office all day. So if you have the ability to sit down and do what you're told, that's enough to get you almost straight A's in this country and get you a good job for high pay. And I don't find that that kind of complacency deserves a good job in high pay. I feel like it's actually more disagreeable people that don't really do what they're told, but are smart and will take what they're told and then take what they know and then do what they think is best. Those type of people should be first in line to get the best jobs. Children should be graded on that type of critical thinking, not just like write a 3-page paper so you write 5 pages so you exceeded expectations and you get an A+. That's garbage. That's garbage. We can't live in this garbage country with a garbage ideology and a garbage education and a garbage military and all this woke stuff, and people thinking that you could just be whatever gender you want, and women thinking that they're just like men, they should work and live like men. It's not like that. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different role. We should all follow our roles, because that's what it takes to have a strong nation. That's what it takes to have a happy country. And guess what? If you don't like that and you don't like it in this country, then get the hell out of here, because I'm certainly not leaving. I've been here my whole life. I'm going to fight for what's right. If you have any other language you speak, any other country that you belong to that you feel like you don't like it here, get the hell out of here. People have told me to leave this country because I don't like how things are going here. But guess what? This is my home. And if you've come here from somewhere else, you could call it home too, but it's not as much your home as it is my home. So I won't be leaving. I don't find that any of these other people that think along the same lines as me will be leaving. I hope we have another red wave. I saw Trump put a Trump 2028 hats out the other day ahead of the government shutdown. So let's talk about that too. I was going to do that in a separate video, but let's talk about that too. The government shutdown. Democrats are trying to make it seem like it's Republicans' fault that there's a shutdown, and of course the Republicans are doing the same thing to the Democrats. But what it is that they're trying to pass a new budget. The budget has expired. They need a new ongoing budget. They call it permanent budget. I don't know if it's permanent. I thought we were just talking about that a couple years ago with the Biden administration, and they're trying to avoid shutdowns, but they can't agree on anything because their constituents are so far right and far left that there's no middle ground. And by far right, I mean, I feel like the people on the right are actually more in the middle now, and they make them seem like far right. They call them fascists. But really what the people on the right are promoting is a normal country and a normal life and a government that stands up for the people that are born in the country more than people in other countries, right? So I'm here in New York City. I work, I pay full taxes, and I get left with almost nothing. And you're going to tell me that they house illegal gang member migrants and take my tax money and give it to them for free? And then also, this guy Mamdani is going to support he's going to support a funding for illegal immigrants to have health insurance for them and their family. I pay $700 a month for my health insurance plan. I don't understand why I don't get help. I'm from this country. Why are you helping somebody from somewhere else when I'm here struggling? All my brothers out here struggling. Everybody that I know is out here working and struggling, paying full taxes and not getting anything back for it. So, you know, if you removed all the immigrants from New York City, the buildings would fall down and the restaurants would all close and a lot of things would close down. But you got to think about it, you know? You got to think about where the tax money comes from and where it goes, because I just feel like I pay a lot and I get very little. I just feel almost absolutely used in this country, and I won't be leaving. I will be advocating. I will be talking on the internet for what I believe should happen, and I think that the Trump administration it's not like they're on board with what I'm saying. It's more like I'm on board with what they're saying, and like we're all thinking very similarly in terms of The government represents the people, but not people from other countries, the people who are from here. That's what it means by the people. And I heard somebody say something interesting the other day. They said all men and women are created equal. That's not what it says. That's not what it says. It says that all men are created equal. And then somebody inferred somewhere over the years that by man, they mean mankind, and they're also talking about women. But that's not what it says in the document. It doesn't say anything about women. It doesn't say anything about mankind. It doesn't say all mankind is created equal. It says all men are created equal as the head of the household, the doers of things, and the determiners of how things will be. So we need strong men to step up, speak your opinion. Don't be afraid of getting canceled. You ain't gonna get canceled no more. Say what you want to say on YouTube, on Instagram, and put that thing on the internet and be loud, because these people that disagree with you, that are pushing for all the stuff that makes your life terrible, they're pretty loud. So we need to be louder. And I think, you know, okay, we've lost Charlie Kirk. I didn't see any retaliation happen, and I'm not calling for any, but I'm just saying, you see how the people on the left feel about the right? Just notice it, and don't try to pretend like it's not reality, because it is reality. Anyway, guys, that's been my rant for today. Sorry I haven't done any videos in the last couple days. I've been, you know, dealing with some stuff, but this is constant dystopia. I've been doing a lot of shorts. If you guys want more shorts, let me know. If you want more long form content, let me know, and I will catch you on the next video.